Creeper Invasion was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Hey guys, welcome to... Why are you laughing? Nothing funny happens. What? You're still laughing. It's nothing funny. Yeah. Laugh tracks are the worst. Why did I go with the 50s style? Okay, back to regular life. Hey audience, welcome to Creeper Invasion. It's funny because that's what happens in Wandavision. Obviously. Hey guys, I'm JT, aka Creeper125. I'm a professional word speaker, and today I'm going to be saying some sentences. Today I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on arguably the biggest show of the year, Wandavision. So it's going to be a pretty big review, so let's just get straight into it. Just so you guys know, there's going to be spoilers in this video, which, yeah, it's a review. That's how reviews work. Also keep in mind, this is all my personal opinion. Don't get mad at me. I will cry. Because I have a very bad pollen allergy and it makes my eyes water. So starting off, I thought I'd do a new segment called Quickfire Reviews, where I go through every episode in a TV show, every episode in a season of a TV show, every season in a TV show, or every movie in a franchise, and basically just give them all quick reviews and then give them a number value out of 10. So let's do that. Oh, also, quick note, I changed the way I rate movies out of 10, so like, you know how I rated Onward 7.5 out of 10? Now it'll be 6.5 out of 10. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you that, but I did. So here we are.
I am Speed.
So, first episode. The 50s style was kinda weird without the benefit of hindsight, but I thought the acting and the parody was really good. So it's overall a really good episode. 7 out of 10. Second episode. A bit better than first. I'd say it has more and better hints at what's to come later on in the series, and I'd argue the parody angle is even better in this episode. 7 out of 10. Third episode. This one's an absolute banger. It's fun, it's interesting, it introduced Monica as a main character who's excellent, and the ending is absolutely great. 8 out of 10. Fourth episode. One of the best episodes in the show. It finally explains what the flip's going on in this frickin' super weird, crazy, weird, confusing, weird, just frickin' super weird show. 9 out of 10. Fifth episode. It's pretty boring. I don't think they had really mastered having episodes where half of it takes place inside the weird mind bubble, and the other half takes place in the real world with Jimmy and Monica and Darcy studying the hex. So it wasn't very good because they didn't get that right until episode 6. And I was gonna give it a 6 out of 10, but the ending with the Quicksilver reveal is just it's so good, and so it gets in 7 out of 10 instead. Sixth episode, real good. I love Vision's side of the story, and it's an all-around really good episode. Watch it now or box a cow. But seventh episode, my favorite ever. It parodies The Office and also Modern Family, but let's not worry about it. The parody of these two shows is absolutely incredible. Monica going through the hex is awesome. And of course, the twist with Agatha being the villain is great, but we'll get to that later. 9 out of 10. Eighth episode, really good as well. It kind of details all of Wanda's trauma and the whole beginning point of her life being the worst thing ever. And it's really great. It's really well done and deep and everything and all that. Also, Agatha's backstory is pretty neato, burrito, Cheeto, Cleto, Dorito, Frito, Vito, Smeeto. I don't know, man. Sometimes I just say stuff and it's best to ignore it. 9 out of 10. Ninth episode. It ends with some super generic action, which... But I love the subtle Incredibles references. What was I gonna say? I love the subtle Incredibles references. The runes coming back was pretty cool. And we get to see more of Agatha, who I will get back to later on, because I have a segment prepared for her. Because apparently the fourth most important character in this show deserves an entire segment dedicated to her. I'm a professional YouTuber. But I'd say overall it was a good finale, but yeah, the show deserved better. 7 out of 10. Anyway, that's all. Back to you, JT. Seriousness, this show is great. It parodies different eras of sitcoms really well, even if it is really weird. Like, it's just, this is a weird show. I mean, it's about a red mine bubble that traps a town and turns it into a sitcom. What did you expect? But this show is also super unique. It really feels like it sets itself apart from the rest of the MCU stuff, until it doesn't, but we'll get to that later. The Mystery of the Hex is insanely well written and left me guessing at every turn. But also, I gotta be honest, the style of the show can be very inconsistent. It started out as a parody of sitcoms, and it's like this mystery detective show, and then we're going back into Wanda's memories, and now it's a generic action show. Too many genres. Stop now. I didn't love the action of this show. The CGI wasn't great, it's edited really weird. I don't go back to the mystery genre. Yeah, but it really just goes back to generic Marvel action, which I wouldn't mind so much if it wasn't so unique from the MCU. But it is so unique from the MCU.
So I do mind so much.
WandaVision, more like I wanna envision a better finale. I am so sorry. Still, the finale is pretty cool and sets up some very interesting future storylines. Another problem I had with this movie
Stupid.
Another problem I had with this movie is it kind of completely glosses over the terrible, horrible, awful, terrible, scarring, just awful things that Wanda does. Like, everyone's just with her hijacking their minds. What? She hijacked their minds? And everyone's just like, she's sad, so what are you gonna do? Like, I like Wanda and all, but she should really be in prison forever. And ironically, after going on this tangent about how Wanda should face consequences for her actions, I am now going to praise the writing of Wanda, because this video has no consistency whatsoever. But yeah, Wanda's way better in this show. She's much more sympathetic, and she kind of finally gets to be put in the spotlight. She did get a lot of attention in Infinity War, but it's kind of hard to pay attention to her when all the other stuff is going on. This whole show is centered around Wanda and her life and her grief and all that good stuff, which is mostly bad, but words. I can't think of words to say. I don't know how to finish this joke. Let's just move on to the next clip because I'm too lazy to reshoot this part. Okay. Yeah, Wanda has this terrible, heartbreaking life, constantly, and they never really addressed it. Until now, which is good. But it does bother me in the other MCU movies. All this terrible stuff happens to her, and they just completely ignore it. Also, Vision's a lot better. He's much funnier, he's got a lot of great lines. And I actually kind of feel for his and Wanda's relationship, where before it was just oh, these two characters I don't really care about are dating. Yay. And speaking of characters that I don't love turning into really interesting and entertaining people that I really think are excellent, Monica, Jimmy, and Darcy are just this hand sign. They are this okay sign. I don't know why I felt that needed a visual demonstration. I could have just set up like a normal person, but I didn't because I'm not a normal person. Take that, universe. Yeah, but Monica, Jimmy, and Darcy are great. Especially Jimmy. Please give Jimmy his own TV show. Do it now, or I will steal Kevin Feige's paperclips. Yep, not to brag, but sometimes I just say random crap because I can't think of something funny to say. And speaking of great characters, this show introduces a really great character. You know who I'm talking about. Mrs. Hart, what an excellent character. Best MCU character since Iron Man. Said we'll get to her later. This show also introduces Wanda's children? They're mostly just there to be cute. And I gotta be honest, it's kind of gross to exploit someone's cuteness like that. Aww. There is one character I don't really like, though. Flippin' Hayward guy. Hayward is legitimately the worst villain since Sonny Birch, and I really hate Sonny Birch. He's just a generic evil villain with no believable intentions. He goes from somewhat sympathetic to evil child murderer in 5 episodes. Is that how you write it? That's not how you write a villain. That's not how you write a human being who acts as an antagonist with conflicting goals from the protagonists. Marvel. And honestly, I thought the finale was terrible. Wait, nope, that's not the one. I thought it was gonna be terrible. I still like the finale. It hasn't changed since the past 5 minutes. And honestly, I thought the finale was gonna be terrible with Hayward as the main villain. Don't get me wrong, it was still flawed, but I thought it was good at the very least. But it seemed like it was hopeless. With Hayward as a villain, there was no way the finale could even be passable. If only there was some better villain to take Hayward's place. If only... Yeah, I've been teasing it all video, and yes, Agatha is the best. She's excellent. She's probably the best MCU villain since Thanos, which isn't saying much because he was literally like 2 movies ago, but like, that's... Well, what are you gonna do? It's Thanos. The reveal about her being the villain was actually really great, made even better by the excellent musical number, or Agatha All Along. Well, yeah, this MCU TV show has a musical number. Don't question it. But seriously, she's a really fun villain. She's hilarious. This video's going great so far. But yeah, she's a really fun villain. She's hilarious, both as her Agnes persona and also her Agatha persona. And she's just a really well-written villain. I like her backstory, but I also kind of like how we can get a love-to-hate villain for once in the MCU, if you know what I mean. A lot of the more recent MCU villains have been very sympathetic and like almost borderline morally correct. It's just that their methods are flawed. You know, think Thanos, Carly, Killmonger, etc. But with Agatha, we just straight up get the most evil person ever.
And I love it.
I mean, Agatha's so evil that when Wanda's distracted because Agatha's forcibly showing Wanda all of her most painful memories, she just straight up starts strangling her children. Holy frick. Like, could you imagine Thanos doing something like that? He wouldn't do it because he is supposed to be a more complex villain, which I like, you know? That's good. But, like, it's so much easier to root against Agatha, you know? Like, obviously Thanos is a better villain, it's not even a competition, but Agatha's more fun, you know? But back to Agatha. Unlike Hayward, her actions seem a lot more reasonable because she's presented as a much less morally correct person. With Hayward, they feel like they try and justify every action he does, even though the stuff he does is completely unjustifiable. And also, Agatha, despite being more openly evil, still has a much more believable motivation. She has a much more tragic backstory. Like, what adversity has Hayward have to overcome? Being in the snap? That's what happened to everyone. I think if Hayward was presented as more of a morally reprehensible character right from the start, he would be a lot better, but because he's almost presented as, I don't know, not even an anti-hero, like a normal guy, his dramatic turn to evil child murderer feels a lot more dramatic, you know? I feel very similarly about Hayward as I do with John Walker, but we'll get to him in the Winter Soldier and Falcon review. Got the name backwards. Let's go. My one problem with Agatha is that her plan doesn't make sense. But it kind of makes sense in this show. I mean, with all the crazy stuff happening in the Hex and all of Wanda's misadventures and all the stuff happening outside with the sword, it kind of makes sense that her plan would be constantly changing. And yes, I know you all want me to talk about him. Fake Quicksilver was kind of a letdown. And also hilarious. I can't decide how I feel about this guy, I swear. I've been racking my brain for like 6 hours now, and there's so much positive and negative that I don't know how I'm waving my hands like this is a good visual representation of my thoughts of fake Quicksilver, but, you know. here we are. I guess it was kind of lame, but like also it was really great to see Evan Peters reprise his role as Quicksilver, so I don't know, I'm kind of split on the issue. And even though Quicksilver wasn't Mephisto, Jimmy Woo is. I'm calling it. Jimmy Woo is Mephisto. You can't disagree with me. I will sue you. Also, just saying, Sword could have figured out what was happening in the Hex by getting like 3 Marvel fans, putting them in a room for 2 hours and asking them to come up with some theories. They get it done in like 2 hours. Anyway, the average of all the episodes is like a 7.888888889. I guess they threw in a 9 at the end just to mix things up. But if I had to give the overall show a score, it would probably be more like an 8.5. That's my score. There we go. I did it. I win. What do I win? $7. Anyway, that's it for today. Feel free to like and subscribe, or dislike and unsubscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. And if I don't see you guys next time, I'll be sad. Take that, fake fans. Sorry this video took like 7 months to make.
I used Adobe Premiere Pro to edit this video, and I used a FugeTech Tripod as the tripod. And that's actually all the credits for today. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thought it turned out pretty good. And also, before I go, holy crap, my last video got 1.2 thousand views, which is like infinitely more than all my other videos, it's just so awesome. That's like half of my total channel views. So thanks everyone so much for that. That's just insane. And now I'm gonna show you a bunch of outtakes from when I was waiting for Cora to come downstairs and throw $7 at my face. And also, me and Molly are releasing a Luca review soon, so stay tuned for that. Alright, on with the outtakes.
We made it to this far in the video, get a quick behind the scenes look. Right now I'm waiting for my sister to be done with lunch so she can throw $7 at my face. I don't know why I do these things, I just do. Yeah. I'm just waiting for me to be able to film again, so like, just sitting here talking to a camera. It's probably a good use of my time. I have a social life and all that. You know, all that jazz. This is like half of my net worth right here. Could use this money to, buy a nice snack or probably a cheap mobile video game. I'm sure there's plenty of games that are fine for $7. Probably a couple of cool accessories I could buy for my tripod. You know, that thing's cheap. There's gotta be some little feature I can add on. I could buy some cups. Would still be a better use of my money than what I'm doing with it. A comic book, if those things are still around and haven't been entirely replaced by movies, which, who knows, life's an adventure. But no, here I am, and I'm gonna have it chucked at my face. That's how I manage my money, most YouTubers would take this time to rehearse their upcoming lines. Not me, I just sit in the chair and mess around with $7 before they're thrown at my face. Oh God. My last video got over 1,000 views. That happened somehow. So thanks for that. If you guys are still watching. I swear this will end at some point.